All in all, this is a great saw, especially for the DIYer. It has an integrated stand, which you kick out the legs, and one of the legs is actually adjustable. It has a rack and pinion fence system, and it's a 10-inch 15-amp saw that will also accept dado blades. Let's jump right into it. Okay, here we have the fence, which is a rack and pinion fence system. Here we have the push stick. Here we have the blade guard and the riving knife, which, by the way, if any of you were confused like I was, the riving knife on version A of this saw came with the blade guard separate, but this version B of this saw now comes with the riving knife attached to the blade guard. Dust chute elbow, riving knife for non-through cuts, anti-kickback device, miter gauge, and the knob to turn the rack and pinion fence system. On the front of the saw, we have the power switch over here. We have the lever to raise the blade. We have the bevel for other degree cuts. The push stick goes right here, which is a nice little touch. It's easily accessible. And we also have the knob for the rack and pinion fence. And on the right side over here, we also have the lever to lock and unlock the rack and pinion fence system. Okay, here on the right side we have the lever again to lock and unlock the rack and pinion fence system. We have some handles. There's one on this side and one on the left side. And we also have another handle right here to pick up the saw if it's on its side with the legs kicked in. And we also have a spot for the blade guard and riving knife. On the back side here we have a 2.5-inch dust port. We also have 2 wrenches that are over on this side right here. They store in there. These are for changing out the blade. And this is the storage spot for the dust elbow. Okay, on the left side we have the spot for the miter gauge for storage, and we also have the adjusting lever for the blade, which is right over there. This table saw is about 33 inches from the ground. And 25 inches by 24 inches. This fence is very, very light. There are 3 positions for the auxiliary fence. The first position is what it's in right now. You can see that it's being stored away up here. Second position is right there if you want to use this as a little mini fence. Maybe you're using the blade guard and you want to use your push stick and you need some extra room there. Next position is the lowest position, which makes it the same height as the table itself. If you have this stretched out all the way, you can lay out your plywood and so use this for support. This and this are at the same height in this position. In this mounting position for the fence, the furthest you can stretch this out is 25 3/4 of an inch, and which is the black one right here. That's the measurement for this mounting position. And if you move this as close as it will go to the blade, it'll go 4 inches from your blade. If you're using this mounting position, earlier we were using this one, you can actually get this thing all the way up to the blade, which is nice. And with this mounting position that we're in right now, you'll be using the white measurements, which gets the full length out to 21 3/4. There's also a third mounting position. So I showed you guys 1, 2, 3, and this one's not used as much because it's to the left of the blade. There is no measurement here for this one, but I guess if you needed to make a cut to the left of the blade, you could do that, but you would have to measure it out yourself. For the throat plate, you remove it by pushing this button and putting your finger in this finger hole. Seems pretty solid, this thing here. I saw some other reviews saying that this thing was plastic, and maybe it is some type of plastic, but I just want to remind you guys that there is a version A and version B of this saw out there. The easiest way to know if you have the version A is if the riving knife came already installed in your saw, and version B has the riving knife with the blade guard attached. This is what I have, version B. And this thing is adjustable with an Allen wrench. You can try to get it as level as you can to the table here. I do wish there was more than just these 4 holes. Maybe some in the middle so that I could get it as level as I can. But it is what it is. It is nice that we can adjust it. For the blade, we're going to use the open-ended wrench for the left side of the blade and the closed end for the right side. If you are a beginner, I would recommend a combination blade like this from CMT or a general purpose blade. That way you don't need to keep switching your blade between crosscuts and rip cuts. Okay, to check the blade from the miter slot, we're looking at tiny bit past 5 inches. And rotate the blade so we're at the same position. And again, we're at a tiny bit past 5 inches. Looks pretty good from the factory. Okay, we're going to zero it out on the table. From the factory, we are at exactly 90.0. That's amazing.